So honored, blessed to have your company with me today, with the Quaker friends who've maintained this class with me for almost 20 years, and with the community members that have joined along the way, and this morning with Sienna Sherman, who I started learning yoga from in 2008 at the Yoga Journal Conference in Estes Park, Colorado. And I liked her teaching so much that I went to her workshops in the United States and her retreats in Costa Rica whenever I could find the time. And for the past 8 months, I've been practicing and learning at home with Sienna through her online Rasa Yoga Academy. And this is described on her website as a soulful fusion of asana, mantra, mudra, myth, pranayama, meditation, functional anatomy, tantric yoga philosophy, shadow work, and soul alchemy. Rasa is a Sanskrit word that means essence, juice, nectar, and the fulfillment of the soul. There's a link in the chat box for you to access her website and find out more about her offerings. And what I liked most about this online training is that it provided an architecture and a methodology for making classes more interesting, not only for the mind, but also healthier in the body and more nourishing for the soul. It's given me new depth and variety in my teaching, so my classes can be more flavorful, colorful, and help inspire me with themes for classes to express. Now, today is a very auspicious day. In the Hindu calendar, we're at Diwali. Diwali is the Indian festival of lights to celebrate the power of rebirth, joy of radical optimism, the gifts of the earth, and the divine feminine herself. For most Hindus, it's a celebration of the goddess Lakshmi, who embodies love, beauty, harmony, and good fortune. It is also a celebration of the day Lord Rama returned to his kingdom Ayodhya after defeating the demon king Ravana. And as told in the Ramayana epic, it signifies the victory of light over darkness, of goodness over evil, and of knowledge over ignorance. Today, our practice will help us magnify our inner radiance called Shri. Shri is our soul glow, our innermost radiance, and whatever is beautiful, holy, or auspicious. Shri is the power of blessing energy and the abundance of the universe. It operates on the principle that goodness begets goodness. You can see it in other people, in their brightness of the smile, the twinkle of their eye, and see that kind spirit and generosity in their enthusiasm for life. We have a light within each of us to show us how to create goodness and meaning in this life. Our intention is to tap into this self-luminous source within, and today sparkle with Shri. Now, there's a framework to Rasa Yoga classes that involves invocation, embodiment, and offering. We're starting with invoking spirit now to create sacred space around us and to honor the temple body. We'll do this by taking some centering breaths. Sitting tall and straight, visualize a grounding cord connecting you to the earth through your sitting bones. Blossom up through the crown of your head like the lotus flower lifting its beautiful petals up to the sun. We'll take 3 deep breaths and inhale, fill yourself with love, and exhale, empty any worries. Inhale, fill yourself with beauty. And exhale, empty any fears. Inhale, abundance. And exhale, doubt. Rest your awareness in the breath, flowing in and out through the nostrils. Because of its association with finding the light and letting it guide us, we'll chant the Gayatri mantra 1 time to begin. If you can see it in the chat box, I've put it there. Inhale. Om Bhur-Bhurva Swaha Tatsavatur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om, in the realms of earth, sky, and heaven above, we recollect in ourselves and meditate upon that wondrous spirit of the divine solar being, the sun. May it guide our thoughts and enlighten our minds. There's a beautiful description of Lakshmi by Sri Aurobindo. Lakshmi throws the spell of the intoxicating sweetness of the divine. To be close to her is a profound happiness, and to feel her within the heart is to make existence a rapture and a marvel. Grace and charm and tenderness flow out from her like light from the sun. And wherever she fixes her wonderful gaze or lets fall the loveliness of her smile, the soul is seized and made captive and plugged into the depths of an unfathomable bliss. So next we'll chant the root mantra of Lakshmi. It's also in the chat box. It's very simple. It's just Om Shreem Mahalakshmiye Swaha. And we'll chant this together 3 times. Om Shreem Mahalakshmiye Swaha. Om Shreem Mahalakshmiye Swaha. Om Shreem Mahalakshmiye Swaha. Next, we'll begin the embodiment of Shri. And we're going to build up some of our brightness and energy with an active breath of fire, pranayama, Agni Prana. It's a dynamic breathing practice that will increase the oxygen in the blood to awaken the mind, the body, and this element of fire. So bring the arms up at a 45-degree angle Fold the fingers into the palm, leave the thumbs extended. The thumbs represent the fire element, and we'll increase this fire energy as we pump the air in and out through the nostrils. Use the diaphragm, the navel center, and try not to move the chest and shoulders. Just keep them constant and steady. At the end of the the end of the series, we'll bring the thumbs up overhead until they touch, and then tent the fingers like a flame. Bring it down to the heart, and here we go. Raise the arms. Now there are some precautions to not attempt this if you're pregnant or menstruating or have high blood pressure that's not treated, or some form of heart disease where you don't want to increase your blood pressure. And important to slow down or just stop if you're feeling dizzy or woozy. If you're not counterindicated in those, you can continue to start to pump the air in and out. Equal emphasis to the inhale and exhale. Bring the thumbs up to touch. Inhale, suspend the breath. Make that living flame. And then bring the hands down to the heart. Exhale, relax. Do another round if you're still feeling inclined. Lift the thumbs and begin. Thumbs touch, inhale, suspend the breath at the top of the inhale, and exhale, slowly bring the hands down to the heart. Sense how you're feeling, a little more awake, a little more alive, and if you're still feeling inclined, do one final round. Inhale, thumbs touch, hold the breath at the top of the inhale. Visualize that flame rising up. Then exhale, slowly bring the hands to the heart. And release. So in our embodiment of Shri today, I've chosen Urdhva Dhanurasana as the apex pose, the wheel pose, because it's such a radiant way to open the heart. And of course, we have to prepare intelligently and progressively towards this pose. So we're going to be keeping in mind 3 key actions as we prepare. The first is to activate the posterior chain of muscles, in other words, strengthen the back. Second is to lengthen the side body so we have more freedom and spaciousness in the spine. And last is to learn how to integrate the arm bone into the shoulder socket, the shoulder into the back. So if you'll please come over to table pose on hands and knees.
Can I just interrupt for a second? Ask Edna to mute.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Thank you for muting.
Sorry.
That's fine.
We're not on the chat, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you want that later.
I'll do it again. Okay, this will mute everyone. Okay. Okay, so from table pose, I'd like you to spread the fingers and claw the mat with the fingertips so there's as much pressure in the finger pads as there is in the heel of the palms. And the knees are hip distance apart, And they're not too close to the hands, so you have lots of length along the sides of the body to lift the armpits forward and stretch the hips back. Now feel through your hands and knees connection to the earth, to source. Your foundation is the starting point of each pose. Connect to source. Use that as a way to stay connected to breath. And inhale, start to lift the eyes, lift the sitting bones. And exhale, look down and draw the navel up and in. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, looking down. Continuing to flex and bend the spine with the breath. Just pulse through the inhale and exhale, moving at your own comfortable speed. Draw the arm bones into the shoulders, hug the arms to the midline, and this will help integrate the shoulder blades onto the back. So even as you're moving, there's still a sense of connection and integration. Now, circle the hips a few times each direction. And reverse if you haven't. And come back to the center. Balance on the left knee, lift the right leg up and stretch it back. Lift up through the navel center and balance on the right hand. Now you're going to reach back with the left hand and find that right ankle. It's easiest if you turn the right knee out to the side, bring the right ankle behind the left knee. Once you've found it with your left hand, lift it up. Press the knee up, arch the spine, lift your eyes. Connect to the foundation, pulse with the breath, integrate every part of yourself to support and radiate in the pose. Now switch the right knee down and balance on the left hand. Lift the left leg and then sweep the right hand back and bind that left ankle and then reach the left heel up. Breathe through the whole body and light up the pose with more energy, more radiance, and more abundance of breath. Then release that side and step the right foot forward to a low lunge. Move the left knee back and then lift the right arm and reach up and over the right ear, twisting a little to the left side so you feel a deep stretch along the outside of the right hip, along the right side of the waist and the rib cage, all the way out to the fingertips. Breathe into that right side of the body, let it lengthen, and then switch. Right hand down, right foot back, and step the left foot forward to low lunge. Walk the right knee back, balance on the right arm, and stretch the left arm up and forward over the left ear, twisting a little to the side so you can look up. Open the chest and integrate that left arm bone into the shoulder and the shoulder blade into the back. Breathe into the left side of the waist and expand along the left rib cage. And lower the left hand down and step the left foot back to tiger dog. Both knees bent. Hands clawing the mat, and pulse a little with the breath. Bend and straighten the knees. Hug the arms to the midline to integrate the shoulder blades onto the back. And then straighten one knee at a time. Let the hips wave from side to side. And walk the hands back halfway towards the feet. Widen the feet to the width of the mat. Bend both knees. And start to lean back into the heels. The knees are bent so much that the fingertips can claw into the mat and lift the armpits up and away from the neck. Broaden the base of the neck. Breathe into the kidneys. And decompress the lower spine. And slowly roll up. Inhale up to standing. And bring the feet back to hip distance or closer. And lift the arms up over the head. Fingertips touching in sphere mudra. Press the fingertips against one another. Squeeze to the midline with the arms, the legs. Energize. Ground down through the feet. Connect to the earth while you reach to the heavens. Light up the pose with your love, your generosity, and your enthusiasm for life. Now, bring the hands around to the lower back. You can either point the fingertips up or point them down like your hands are in your back pockets. Pull the elbows behind, squeeze the shoulder blades in, press down through the heels and start to lift the heart up. Now inhale, lift up to a straight back. And exhale, slide the hands down the shins. Inhale, lift all the way up. Bring the hands to the lower back or the buttocks. And exhale, arch back. Inhale, head up. Exhale, slide the hands down. Pull the navel in. And inhale, slide all the way up. Hold the lower back. And exhale, arch back. Inhale, head up. And once more, slide the hands down. Deep forward bend, Uttanasana. And then soften the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Touch the palms, bring them to the heart. Step up to the front of the mat for fearless heart namaskar. Take a moment and sense what you're feeling. Ground through the soles of the feet. And inhale, sweep the arms up, arch back. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, fold deeper, bend the knees, and step the left foot back. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, release, hands to the floor. Step the right foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders forward to high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Slide it forward. Curl it up into cobra. And sway some from side to side, like the dancing cobra. Now curl back. And exhale, roll forward. Inhale, push up. Press back to downward dog. Step the left foot through. And lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, hands down. Step the right foot forward. Inhale. And exhale, fold deeply. Soften the knees. Inhale, sweep up. Touch the palms. And exhale, release. Initiate on the other side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Now right foot steps back. Right knee down. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, hands to the ground. Step the left foot back to downward dog. Inhale to high plank. And exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Slide forward. Curl up to cobra. Rock a little side to side. So there's no stiffness in your cobra. It's very sinuous and fluid. Curl the head back. Then exhale, roll the chest forward like a red carpet. Inhale, push up. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Lift the right leg, inhale, and step the right foot through. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, step the left foot forward. And exhale, fold over straight legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms touch. And exhale, release. And rest the arms down. Now, step the right foot back for warrior one. Bend the left knee and ground through the feet. Connect to the earth, the source of stability and strength. Roll the shoulders up and back and lift the arms. Virabhadrasana. Like Rama returning victorious to Ayodhya. Let your warrior self shine. And release. Step the right foot forward and step the left foot back. Bend the right knee. First, find the foundation that's stable and solid. Activate muscular energy in the legs to hold that stability as you lift the arms. Inhale, blossom up through the heart, shine through the fingers, and exhale, root down through the legs. Expand and widen the shoulders, inhaling. Focus on muscular energy in the core of the pelvis as you exhale. Integrate the arm bones into the shoulders. Shoulder blades stay down on the back so you don't have to tighten the neck. Leave the neck relaxed. And release the hands. Step the left foot forward. And once more, step the right foot back. And this time, cross the right foot behind or outside the left foot, staying on the outer edge of that back foot for our crescent. We'll lift the arms, hold the right wrist with the left hand, and crescent over to the left side. Lengthening the right side of the body. And switch. Step the right foot forward and the left foot back. Try crossing that left foot to the right edge of the mat. staying on the outer edge of that left foot, and then holding the left wrist with the right hand. Press back through that left heel, lengthening the left hip, and then stretch up and out through the left arm. Now release that side and step forward. Going to fold forward, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, swan dive forward. Step the feet back to downward dog. Inhale to high plank. And exhale, press back to down dog. Pulsing with your breath forward on the inhale. Pressing back on the exhale. This is strengthening the shoulders and the back. Next time you come forward to the high plank, we'll hold here and add more challenge. Lifting the right leg up and balancing on the right hand. Lift the left arm up. And switch. Both lift the left foot and try lift the right arm up. Building lots of strength in the posterior chain muscles. Hands and knees down. And coming to puppy dog, Anahata Asana. And walk the hands forward and try not to sit back too far on the heels. It's not child's pose. This one, the hips are up forward over the knees. And you're trying to maybe lower the forehead to the floor. Pressing down through the palms, lift the armpits up and broaden along the sides of the neck and the collarbones lift. And perhaps you'll even get the chin to the floor or maybe the heart. Trying to bring some flexibility into the upper back. And release here. Walk the hands back under the shoulders. Curl the toes under. And step or hop forward to the hands. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, fold over straight legs. Unlock the knees. Inhale, lift the arms. Bring palms touching. And exhale, hands down. Now take a wide stance. Turn to the side of the mat. The outer edges of the feet parallel. Clasp the hands behind the back and roll the shoulders up and behind. You don't have to straighten the elbows. You can even hold a strap between your hands and start to fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the back of the neck, and exhale, tighten the kneecaps, squeeze the thighs, and start lifting the knuckles up over the back. Inhale, relax the knees. And exhale, push down through the feet. Lift up through the navel. Just let your breath guide you. Pulsing. Freedom. Now release the hands down under your face, so maybe walking the fingertips forward so the hands are under the face, knees unlocked. Balance on the left fingertips, sweep the right arm out, hold it parallel to the floor initially. I'm going to practice integrating the arm bone into the shoulder here by pulling back through the arm and elbow. So from the elbow, draw back into the shoulder, and then open the heart, pressing down through the left hand, broaden the chest, twisting open in the heart, and looking up to the right thumb. Okay, so important things to take the armpit back faster than the hand. So if your hand is going behind your shoulder, that's not what we want to see. It's not healthy for the shoulder. So keep a slight, soft micro bend in the elbow so that doesn't happen. And bring the right hand back down. So the right hand's under the face. Twist to the left side. Stop halfway. And just practice integrating the arm bone into the shoulder blade onto the back by drawing from the elbow back into the shoulder and then opening from the heart so the armpit hollows out and the shoulder moves back faster than the hand. And release that side. And inhale, come up to stand. For goddess, turn the heels in, the toes out 45 degrees, and bend the knees, squat down low. Practice Padma Mudra, bringing the heel of the palms together, the pinkies and thumbs touch, and the other fingers splayed apart like the lotus. Symbolizing this inner radiance, this auspicious goodness, this magnificent beauty and radiance. One more breath, and go to our deepest squat. And release that, lift it up. Inhale, stretch high. And exhale, arms down. Now, going to, we'll start in the same place. So let's step the right foot back, turn the right toes out, bend the left knee, bring the hands down to the mat inside that left knee, and walk the fingertips diagonally out and away. Press back through the inner thighs, lift up through the armpits, and broaden around the base of the neck. And walk the left hand to the outside of the left foot. And the right hand to the right hip, and lift the right hip up, lift the right shoulder up, the right shoulder blade back. And then lift the right arm straight up over the head and then diagonally over the ear. And practice integrating the arm bone into the shoulder blade into the back. As you press down through the feet and breathe. Keeping the luster, keeping the brightness and the fun. Release, hands to the floor, and step the left foot back to down dog. Lift the right leg up, and step the right foot through. Turn the left toes out, and bring both arms to the inside of the right leg. Walk the fingertips out diagonally, and scoop the chest down towards the earth, while the armpits, inner arms lift up and roll away from the neck. And walk the right hand around to the outside of the right foot. Left hand to the left hip. Roll the chest open, the left shoulder back, and then extend the left arm up and forward over the ear. Drawing from the elbow back into the shoulder blade into the back, integrating the power. Breathe with ease. Radiate your love. And release that hand down. And And step forward with the left foot. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, rest the arms. And please come down to a sitting position. Bring the hands behind the hips. Widen the feet hip distance apart. And roll the shoulders up and into the back. So the shoulder blades squeeze into the spine. Claw down through the fingertips and press down through the feet. Lift the hips up into Purvottanasana. Again, strengthening the posterior chain of muscles in the back and the legs. And for more challenge, you can walk the heels out to straight legs, a little micro bend in the knees. So we're pressing the heels down, pulling them under more. It lengthens the tailbone. Open the chest and shine all your radiance, your inner beauty. And rest and sit back to the ground. Now, coming to boat pose, Navasana. Now face everyone. And we're using Ganesh Mudra. So with the right palm face out, the left fingertips wrap into the right fingertips, and we hold it in front of the heart. Balance on the sitting bones, lift the heels, lift the heart, keep the shoulders back. And if you like, add the breath of fire. And switch the hands. And release. Now, come on to the stomach for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Start with the arms wide, the fingertips on the floor, and press down through the hips. Hug the legs to the midline. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back from the ears. And then exhale, press down through the hips and start to lift the legs. If you want more lift, bring the arms behind, clasp the hands, and start to squeeze the shoulder blades into the back. One more breath. And release and rest. Chin to the side, heels open. We'll do a second locust. And this time, if you want even more challenge, bring the arms underneath the hips. So we roll up onto one side, bring the forearm under the hip, and then do the same on the other side. So the palms are facing the floor or curling the fingers in to make soft fists. And press those fists into the floor and lift the legs. And you're definitely strengthening posterior muscles here. Release the arms, chin to the other side. And breathing deep breaths. And slowly push yourself up to table pose. And back to child's pose. Mayurasana is another way to strengthen the back. We'll come back to table pose and just prepare the wrists a little by turning the left fingertips backwards towards the knees and stretching a little in that wrist and fingers. And then switch, turn the right fingertips backwards and stretch through the right wrist and hand. And then the peacock pose with both fingers turned towards the knees, both hands turned towards the knees. Bend the elbows. You make a shelf with the upper arms to support the abdomen, stomach. So we make that little shelf. The stomach sits on the back of the upper arms. And then we find the balance by leaning forward and slowly lifting the toes. And coming back down and resting in hero pose, Supta Virasana. This is to prepare the thighs for a deep back bend, and you can stay seated upright or begin to walk the hands behind into Supta Virasana, lengthening the thigh bones so the knees stretch forward as you gradually tilt the head back. Now I like to pull on the ankles to add more stretch in the quadriceps. Make sure not to let the rib cage jut way up, but draw the lower ribs down and in. And inhale, lift back up. And this time come to a high kneeling position. Bring the hands around the lower back. And we'll practice Ustrasana, the camel pose. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, and integrate the shoulder blades into the back. And perhaps reach down to the heels, hold the heels, and lift the heart. The big heart opening pose to really light up with your radiance, your beauty, and your love of life. Inhale, squeeze the knees towards the midline and come up. And sit back on the mat. Walk the feet forward for bridge pose. Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. And we're first going to lengthen the sides of the body by stretching the arms up over the head, wiggling, shimming, getting as much separation between the hips and the ribs. And walk the heels in towards the sitting bones. Bring the elbows back to your side and press the feet and elbows down. Lift the sides of the hips up. And you can support the buttocks with the hands or clasp the hands underneath and walk the shoulder blades in and lift the heart up a little more. And keep your chin lifted. Press the back of the head into the floor. And if necessary, if you're sliding back, you may have to walk the heels in a little closer, but no closer than the knees. Inhale, expand up with your heart blossoming, shining. And exhale, squeeze to the midline, firm the buttocks. Inhale, the blossoming of the heart. And exhale, the rooting, grounding through the legs. One more big breath. And then release the hands and lower the buttocks down. You can practice another bridge pose or go on to wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, by placing the hands above your shoulders. And then lift the hips, and you're going to first come onto the top of the head. Bring your head to the mat, and then widen the hands, make the fingers parallel with the edges of the mat, and then draw the arm bones back into the shoulders. So integrate the arm bone by pulling from the elbow into the armpit, plug it in, and then tilt towards your forehead. Walk in a little closer, come up on the toes, and now push on the hands and lift to straight arms. Breathe there, or try and lower the heels. Keep clawing the mat with strong hands and active feet. And come out of the pose, bring the chin in towards the chest, and come first to the back of the shoulders and head, and then roll the spine down, releasing gradually to the floor. Now, just keeping the knees bent, widen the feet to the width of the mat, spread the arms wide, and windshield wiper the knees to the left side, and pause. And now switch, knees up and over to the right side, and pause. Now knees up to the center, and cross the right ankle over the left knee, reclining leg cradle, Suchi Randrasana. Thread the right arm through and hold the back of the left thigh. And on the inhale, lengthen the arms. And on the exhale, tighten the navel, draw the knee a little closer with your arms. Keep that right foot very active, right toes pulled back so the ankle doesn't sickle or sprain. If you want a deeper hip opener, you can extend that left leg, walk your hands up towards the ankle, or even bring that left foot up and over the head into plow. Now releasing, roll carefully back to the ground, uncross the legs, and recross with the left ankle over the right knee. Thread the left arm through and hold the back of the right thigh or the top of the shin. If your head and shoulders rest easily on the floor, you can try and bring the right knee a little closer as you exhale. Draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, lengthen the arms. If you need a deeper stretch, just stretch out that right leg. Walk the hands up towards the ankle. Or bring that right leg up and over the head into half plow. So it's half lotus, half plow. And gradually release that and come back down carefully to the ground. And then come up to a sitting position. Take a wide angle with the legs wide, toes spread. Now squeeze the kneecaps and pull them up. Draw the lower back in. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward. Integrate the leg bones into the hip by engaging quadricep muscles, muscular energy, hugging the muscles to the bone, and flowing up, out, and over the hips. Easily And gracefully with the breath, now making the offering of our practice. The elbows reach the floor to hold hands in Anjali Mudra, or if the head, face reaches the floor, to bring the hands up over the back of the head. And offer this practice, offer this time for the benefit of all. Namaste, 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 Namo Namaha. And slowly release, sitting up. And please make your way into Shavasana and laying on your back. Or you can rest the palms face up, the shoulder blades under the back. And then stretch the feet, heels away, spread the fingers, and then let everything go and surrender, trust, and release into the earth. And while you're resting, I'll tell you a nice little story. And just let your breath flow in its own natural way. And let your heart sparkle, shimmer, and glow with that deep soul beauty within you. And once upon a time, a long time ago, maybe it was just last week, I don't remember, but there was a time when the sage Durvasas was walking through the celestial realms, and he came upon a nymph with a beautiful garland of flowers, which he fancied, and he asked her for it. She gave it to him, telling him that this was the embodiment of Shri. He wore the garland for a while, and he noticed that the petals never faded. The beauty of the flowers remained ever fresh. And as he was walking through the celestial realms, he encountered Indra, the king of the gods, who was parading through on his elephant with his whole retinue. And he was very proud and mighty on his elephant, and he'd been receiving many precious offerings from kings and sages. And Durvasa gives him the garland and says, "This is a very special garland. It's filled with Shri." And Indra was a little haughty, a little proud, and not too much interested in this dusty garland of flowers, so he just casually drops it on the elephant's neck, where it eventually falls to the ground and is trampled. Well, Durvasas is outraged and indignant, and so he curses Indra. And he says, "Just as you have forsaken Shri, Shri will now forsake you." And the instant he uttered that curse, all the flowers in the celestial kingdom wilted and died. Trees lost their leaves. There was a pall cast over the sun and moon. And all forms of art and all forms of generosity began to dry up and evaporate. And when the gods saw this awful calamity, they appealed to Vishnu, the sustainer, to rectify things. And Vishnu says, "Well, I'm sorry, but without Lakshmi, I cannot act in the world." And in order to resurrect Lakshmi, who has dissolved into the great milky ocean of consciousness and love, we need to create a concentrated effort. So all the elemental deities are gathered together to begin to churn the ocean. And Vishnu becomes both a mighty snake, Visuki, and the great tortoise, Kurma. And this snake is wrapped around a mountain to provide a churning paddle. And the mountain rests on the back of the tortoise so that it's supported in the ocean. And the gods begin to pull on one end of the snake, and the demons pull on the other, and back and forth with give and take, they begin to churn the waters of the milky ocean. And when the waves are huge and a giant whirlpool appears, Lakshmi begins to rise up from the depths, standing gracefully on a lotus flower. And she's so beautiful and so radiant and lovely that all the gods and demons are awestruck, and they all want to court her favor. But she is the divine consort of Vishnu, so he and Lakshmi return the beauty and goodness to the world. The flowers come back into blossom, and all the generosity of the people begin to return. The sages spreading their wisdom, the artists spreading their talent, and the beauty of the earth is restored. So we know that this is happening today as we speak. And we give great thanks to the harmony that there's not only goodness in receiving the bounty of the earth, but in also giving back to one another, and giving thanks to the earth, and being good caretakers and stewards of the earth, to give other people support, donations as they're needed, to just smile at people and give them your praise, your compliments means so much. So be generous in your blessings as Lakshmi is in hers. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinanaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be nourished together. May we give strength to one another. And may our study be filled with light. Peace, peace, peace. And now start to awaken through your body, stretching, moving the muscles, and gradually turning to roll to your right side, integrating what you've felt in your practice, and eventually sitting back upright in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. I bow to the inner radiance in each of you. Namaste.